Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Hump Day. Happy Hump Day. It is about 7:45 this morning, and we're broadcasting to you live on this morning. Good morning, everyone. Again, I am Lady Victoria of Victoria School of Etiquette, where we offer a solution to your etiquette dilemmas. I'm broadcasting to you live from the great windy city of Chicago, Chi-Town, we like to call it, because we are the best in the Midwest. So while you are coming on in, tag a neighbor, tag a friend, and have them come on in. I am Lady Victoria, your etiquette educator, and this morning we are going to talk about silverware. Silverware, something we all use every day, and an area that people might not be as educated on as others, as some other folks. Listen, but for me, the etiquette lady, all of this stuff is fascinating to me, and I am here to share some information with you on this morning. So this is the Anatomy of Silverware Part 1, and we are going to start with forks on this morning. We're going to start with forks on this morning. Hold on a minute. You can see I have a collection of forks this morning that we are going to address. On this side, in my right hand, and on your left, you see two long forks. And on this side over here, you see two shorter forks. So here, you see the longer forks. And here, good morning, thank you for joining. You see the shorter forks. So I'm going to put these down, and we are going to start with the big forks. Thank you for joining. Tag a neighbor, tag a friend, and come on in. So as you can see, these two forks are, of course, two different styles, but they are the same type of fork. Both of these forks will be referred to as a dinner fork, right? And the two shorter ones will be referred to as your salad fork. So when we begin to talk about the anatomy of a fork or the anatomy of any silverware, but here we're talking about the fork, the dinner fork, you can see this fork is long, and this fork by the same name is long as well. They seem to be, one fork seems to be a little bit longer than the other when you stack them together, right? But they're still the same type of fork. So here your dinner fork is long, and let's begin to talk about the anatomy of the fork. Okay, here, this portion, of course, is referred to as the handle of the fork, and it's a long handle. Okay, the top part of the fork up here, these are referred to as the tines, and forks have four tines, evenly spaced apart. They have four tines, right? This portion right here, where I'm holding the fork, this portion is considered the neck of the fork. The neck, some people refer to it as the shoulders, but it is still the same anatomy. And I'll go into a little bit later why it's called that and the purpose of the reason for it. Okay, so now this fork here is the same. It is also a dinner fork, but as you can see, it too has a handle and it has the tines, four tines at the top. Good morning, thank you for joining. It has the handle and the tines at the top, four tines, again, evenly spaced, and I am holding it right here by the neck. This is referred to as the neck of a shoulder. So those are the dinner forks, the long ones with the longer handles and the longer tines. Now, if you can see closely by the design on the bottom, it has the monogram on there. They are monogrammed the same. They are from the same family and style of forks, but they are different. This fork, this fork is the longer one, dinner fork. This fork is the shorter one. This is the salad fork. And it can also be used and called a dessert fork. This fork, as you can see, the handle is shorter than the dinner fork. Dinner fork is a longer handle. This fork, the salad fork, or the dessert fork has a shorter handle. And you can also see on this one that the tines are shorter. See, I'm going to put them one on top of the other, and you can see that the tines are shorter. It's still 4 tines at the top, evenly spaced, but it is shorter. So typically maybe about an inch or so in difference in the sizes of the two forks. About an inch or so difference in about the sizes of the two forks. The dinner fork, of course, is a fork that you use for your main course or your main entree. And your salad fork is a fork that you use, of course, when you are eating a salad. Thank you for joining this morning. Good morning. Please feel free to share your comments in the comment section. And if you have any questions, you can also post them there as well. So as I referred to the dinner fork, I am holding this fork by what we call the neck. This is the neck of the fork. Okay. And so this is where you hold onto the fork when you are setting the table. When you are placing everything, you want to hold on to the neck of it so as not to get fingerprints all over the handle and especially over the tines. You never want to handle silverware, especially when you are setting the table, when you are placing it. You don't want to handle it all over the place. You're holding it like this, and definitely do not hold it by the tines because someone is about to eat with this. So they do not want your fingerprints, neither do they want your DNA all over the silverware that they are about to use. So we will handle the silverware, we hold it here by the neck or by the shoulders, and you place it when you are setting the table, front or back, but typically we hold it by the front and we hold it by the shoulders when we are placing, making the place setting on the table. So again, why is that? It is to keep it clean and it is to keep it appealing and attractive. I always, when I am setting the table, I always, of course, hold all of the silverware. It doesn't matter which one it is, but today we're talking about the fork. I hold them by the neck, and even before I place it on the dinner table, I always make sure that I have a clean cloth and I'm wiping it down. Even though it's just coming out of the drawer, even though it may be just coming out of the dishwasher, I want to wipe it down. You want to check for water spots. You want to check to make sure sometimes that it's always clean, because sometimes the dishwasher may miss a spot or two of food or debris. So you always want to make sure that you are handling it properly so that when it is placed, it is aesthetically pleasing to the eye. There is nothing more disruptive to me to look down at my place setting and see fingerprints or see food or grease or oil on it. Inappropriate in a dining setting. And if you are dining in a public establishment and you look down and your silverware is not clean or not presentable, you can always ask for another. And typically they will bring you, especially in a 4-star, 5-star restaurant, they will bring you an entire new setting, not just replacing the one utensil, but they will oftentimes bring you a brand new one so that your entire set is clean and complete. So always visually inspect, but when you are handling it, make sure that you handle it this way and not that you're handling it this way. When you're placing it, you don't even want to hold it this way. You're about to set it down, but you don't want to, have your fingerprints all over it. It doesn't look nice to the recipient, the dinner recipient that is about to sit down and dine. And so salad forks, both of these are salad forks. Different design, right? Different design. This one is monogram. This one is not. And so they may look and may appear not to be the same size. And there may be some incremental differences in the size, but you'll know the difference between the two because, again, the salad fork always has the shorter tines, and the dinner fork, again, always has the longer tines, the longer tines. And so when we use our forks, when we are dining, when we are eating, and the tines are there to help us to be able to pierce different foods. When you pair the fork with a knife, there's a way to hold it. When you are piercing your food, you always want to hold it down this way. This is an American dining style. You're always going to hold it down this way. You have your knife, which will come across in the front, okay? Whether you're left-handed or right-handed, your fork is held down this way, and your knife comes across. And you cut, and then in American dining, we cut, we pierce, we cut, and then typically we turn our fork over, we change hands, and when we begin to eat, we pierce with the tines, the front of the tines facing up to our face. We pierce our food, bring it to the mouth, take a bite-sized piece, and enjoy. So this is the anatomy of silverware. Again, salad forks held by the neck, dinner forks, different pattern, but they are the same type of fork, and we still holding them by the neck. We hold them by the neck. So this is the anatomy of a fork, and what do we use a fork for? You use a fork oftentimes to remain on trays. The salad forks that I referred to can also be referred to as a dessert fork as well. The dessert fork you will see at the top of your table setting. So when you have your plate there, and sort of right in the middle, centered in the middle of the plate, in the middle, where you have your plate there, and it's at the top, but it is centered strategically so that it is at the middle section of your place setting at the top of the table. And that's where your dessert fork would be, and that's how you'll know the difference um, it is to be used. When you are in a public setting, you will oftentimes see a dessert fork and a dessert spoon at the top. And that is oftentimes, even the servers know when it's a large party, they don't know oftentimes what the dessert is or what type of dessert, if there is a choice, that the patron may be choosing. So you may choose to have ice cream, and someone else may choose to have cake. And so you have both pieces of those silverware at the top of your table, and it's appropriate in order for them both to be there. When you get your order, whichever one that you are not using, then your waiter will oftentimes remove that one so that you only have access to the one that you are using. And so again, it keeps your place setting looking clean, looking formal. You have clean lines, and there's no excess of the silverware and utensils and even glasses and cups that you are not using. So this is a short lesson on this morning. This is What About Wednesdays, and this is the platform where we go into things like this and give you an explanation what it is and how it is used, and so that you are informed. I want you to be informed. I want you to know what your table looks like, and I'm going to do another lesson on a complete table setting that will be coming probably in the next week or so. We will go through the anatomy of other silverware, probably not this week, but we'll do it on next week, probably on the same platform, What About Wednesday. So I thank you so very much for joining us on this morning. I hope that you are having pleasant weather where you are. Here in the Whitney City of Chicago, it's cold this morning. It's about 19 degrees on my side of town, but it's nice and sunny outside, so that's inviting. So again, this is Lady Victoria broadcasting to you from Chi-Town. I am your etiquette educator, and if you have questions, if you like more information or some etiquette tips on dining, please feel free to reach out to me. You can also post your question here on my page. You can also reach out to me on my Instagram page, Lady VL, or Victoria School of Etiquette, by the same name on Instagram. And you can also shoot me an email. You can shoot me an email at vsetc16@gmail.com. You post your questions there. And of course, you can always inbox me directly. So, thank you again for being here on this morning. Happy Hump Day to all of my viewers. And so, those of you that are watching me live, thank you so very much. Those of you that will catch the replay, again, hashtag replay so that I know that you're watching the replay. And then for my YouTube viewers, you will be able to access this video later on today, as I will be posting it shortly over there. So, have your best etiquette day on today, and always remember, The manners that you practice in private are the ones that will show up in public. Have your best edited day. This is Lady Victoria signing off. We'll chat again soon. Bye for now.